Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Text of the Month session for December. This is our last Text of the Month event for the year, and we are absolutely thrilled to welcome Chagdud Khadro. We're so grateful that she's agreed to teach for us again. Chagdud Khadro does not need any introduction to anybody, I'm sure, because most of our audience have received teachings from her before. But just to say a few words about her, Khandrila became a student of Chagdud Rinpoche in the late 70s and then also became his wife in 1979. And Chagdud Rinpoche appointed her as the future spiritual director of Chagdud Gompa Brazil. And since Rinpoche's Parinirvana in 2002, Khandro has focused on continuing his tradition and his training and upholding his legacy. She's tireless in maintaining his legacy, and we're so grateful for all the work that she does. And we are really delighted and honored that she has agreed to come and teach for us again on this precious text. So Khandro, welcome. I actually noticed that Khenpo Dorje is here as well. And Khenpo has very kindly agreed to give us the lung of this text. So perhaps what we can do to begin with is say, welcome, Khenpo. It's lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming to this session.
Hello,
Hello,
thank you.
Tashidale. Khandro, have you met Khenpo before?
No, I don't think so.
Delay, Kandula.
Ashidule Kambon, thank you for the lungs.
Oh,
Khenpo is
my honor.
Khenpo is one of the Khenpos from Dzongsa Institute in Chontra and is also very busy helping support Dzongsa Khyentse Rinpoche's legacy and teachings in many different ways. So we're also very, very honored and privileged to have you here as well, Khenpo. Thank you so much for agreeing to come. So perhaps we'll start with just reciting a couple of prayers for the blessings, and then we'll hand over to Khenpo to do the lung, and then Khandrila to give the teaching.
In the Buddha, Dharma,
Dharma,
and Sangha sublime.
we seek refuge until awakening. By virtue of our giving and the like, may we awaken to benefit all. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha sublime, we seek refuge until awakening. By virtue of our giving and the like, may we awaken to benefit all. In Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha sublime, we seek refuge until awakening. By virtue of our giving and the like, may we awaken to benefit all. The blessing of Manjushri, appearing as the emanation of Vimalamitra, the 13th rebirth of Gyaltse Larche, Pema Dongak Lingpa, holder of the 7 special transmissions, Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo, to you we pray. The earth is perfumed with scented water and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon. Imagining this as the Buddha realm, I offer it, so that all beings may enjoy that pure realm. Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kanira Tayami. In accordance with the capabilities and the diverse aspirations of sentient beings, I ask you to turn the wheel of Dharma of the greater, lesser, or conventional vehicles. Thank you so much. I'll hand over to you now, Khenpo, to give the lung, and then Khandrila to give the teaching.
Okay, so I'm very happy that to have chance to share this oral transmission to all of you. I think many of you have already attended this Rinpoche's teaching recently. When Rinpoche gave the collection sadhana, Ruthap Gundu. So whoever have already attend that teaching, you have already received these teachings or empowerment, also, the oral transmission as well. So okay, I'm started. Oi gong ge Tenji Denji Ni, Kajin Lan Chazepo, Lomarin Chitavu, Dorje Ya Pelan, the Kongi Centuron, Rablan, and Haji Mendara Dunda, Sonotang, thinking of Virgin Mambasens, Savon, Pelunum Coin. 공지를 라파지로 이랍디야 거르반즈바 가야 바테다 통제 타와 담베 고주르 토페송인 센는데 히 메도라도 노노 데데데 마온제 온보당 계산라서 취지소라 사와세바 송제 송라랍데 기긴 데베 주주바 데다 통제 담베 취닌 센는데 히 공다 당가 수균지데나 데게 로마주라 공수다 Tender Dembi Chuji Chambebe, Semande Batom Gender, he Konda Tonga, so Junjina, they can come my Juracons. Tender Dembi Chuji Chambebe, Semande Batom Gender, he like it or Lotto Legend to one thousand me can Roa Quinji Danum Chesamba, Tamjake the dark shooting to. So, please regenerate Buddhita. Then I will read in Tibetan. Bodong Loje, Yongji Mamma Mosungha, Masung Lang to Tap Jino, let's to Jebenji belongs to his Baguso, so the Sedam. Seji Jagunchi Bium do Dion Hamondang, Yeme Lama La, Tuni, Sami Damba, Jongze, Yen, the La Som, Drup Tap Jinon, Choga, Jujirama, Tomona Jason Sosan, when the Robe. So Bawaikuda Sarvadama, so Bawaikuda Hon, Tomang, Dojison. Kurkong yang ki jachi we nong dramle rambo jen nazo le drbe tarwa chimbi jaya kong droi ki go ki jin tawam senyi tamji yang su zubi wisu du tsu me jamsu chenpo kun nin chi hin nawa nazo chi tombe wi na pasam chi tongbo yaga londa me tong drebo yuro saad denbe tewe pangle pe ma marbonda ma jeba ma la karwen dong chaba sewe nro masri chingi su jon drobo te denda ale dawe jengro kendo sal kien tongwe den la rhi ma bu ring cha tsirada jeba oma hong kamran thing sum jin simba dele weze tseme yaldo me ban chu pho wan chu sem ji tu tan su chun du riye ing do sum do jeba la tem de yong su jwa le rang ke ji ge do jen la mo nga kong su ji sun yong ji ma kundu marmo kya ji sa gi san za sa dong bo ni ji yablan chu ban ha ma ni ji yon ro bo ji ju mo ku yon de ne zhen ba ye bu su mo da ji dong ji ju re song ji dong ji gu ni de song yong yan la jiang chu da yan hin jong ma xiam ni be me ji mo ro gi gu ba de pong la ye yap jom den de ji sun jong be yong kundu ma sri kya ji sa gi za sa dong bo ni ji yablan chu ba Lama ni di yen na ra de wezir pa do me ba yambar ba tang yen na prong mo khen do sa we den na kirap ji phar das ba podan zama ni ka ko ta we jom ye ba da do mo je yen na zo ji je ma wezir kun do no an chu be we na yu ba de khar jen da ma la khiram ma lo de ma no de ma song de yu ma de dam je kun do gar bo kha je sa ni de ra de yen pe gran zama da do mo je na zo ko ni de ye do ma 샤미 냠베 답지 징바 중국대 동제제 자와 엄름바 토강 홍레 웨전 주베 롱이니니 공반다 레위 히바 엄베자 사만 자오 봉도제 발라 니소메 반달 하요 동 라센 동 코콘도 마다 줄람 Ya le bale zongkor tongje le ba me ju jin ba jong be sora so de sabare wara agam ni kha de bar jin che je ba gun ji hin yi khirab la mi kurt ma tembe lo tru chu zo be to jin yong che ma lan de ji de zongkor tongje de do gar da wa shi ka ma la kal ma ran dong che ba ti thar han ting ka don ha zo ye zong ko le we zin de pa ba ju sem ji tong je do ji yong ji me kong phong ge song je de song ju sem ba no ji de ni be yi dong dong 동주 담제외에다 이 감란 팅숨지 넘버 센트롱 내선도 내베 고수지 디르 바자도 제바 당 미시베 맘바 던제 살 키자 동질라 토바메 벨로디는 홍아지 도제 손제 산랍 효글라 산랍 귤레 큐버죠 엄아 홍스 엄아 셰홍소 엄아 케조 조버다 데 툰드라 엄베즈베즈 Panja Vardani, Zolan Zola Meda Vardani, de Buddha Vardani, Sova, keep it on the dimension, the Betana Sova, Tomambala, then Yonji Makamidu, the Kibadan Boy, Javad, on Beza Sadon, Kimo, Dela, no Zubazon, Song, he just saw Himbers and Tavaha. Montra Dundo, Ledger, Hati, Juchazom, the Lamage Susu to Jukunju mother. Two thousand never second to Nanjo Sujong, Unimakami, but Jan Nyom Solong, Nibajin on the Joroka managing Kulut and the Decade Semits up. Sendere sema tarsala chongye ni den kulur momar se sawa torma momar bunze ba sali dan hong yin da ngui dan don do hanga ji cheba ma to chogin chen yong ji ma karmi kap che da wa da jino ji sere kap de yu su che hyo mo gu song ge jino la delon sende tra yin hanga jewa ma don da sumba jorwa le jo la som je jo jo ban tung do bombe jogo to bon ne jam bon do so zakar hibenyen sendra shoda kabo yuwa gang hingar no suzu kebdo dabe sema rumbo je ne do do su yin sambo sela zong sela pong de nam je de do je je ma zong suzu sabe ko le de ji jun pa be min je nin je do je zong de ban chu do je ber sam la zang ha jin de da tar la no we do kebe me sozo la tene je de zebe nong za pa ma bo da ra ka me o ma ji zarbe tel rubul tel la yon rubu ni la de dem de ba za wa da yong ji ma kar me kap si hebe ribu ha no je de ri ba de la chu yin do ba ni torong ge de zo nyen be chun len ji chu do ju ba do tu ban za ba da na ke yin yin ba so lo do nga ke ngu do lo ngon ju ba ju ro ni ba ri bu chu ga na ro ni la na ju do dem ba tro ga om hyo won zo ma ku gum gang zaren hakzen kulu churimbanga te wada jiba wisu she tendra tsanga da lenga ji shimdo mama pranjanja na punteng kuro om ki tre munchu tombola pema dama yibi wisu she thar shar to om pranja so lo mate so nob do mrte so so do meda so ki su thar tsi pretsi jarwe ko ni bala yang sumbala sar je yewala ting hin nam jin thar Petsy Java Tomji Kurdu Ngawa Tuji, 200 the member which about in hot up Sandra to Kogam the Gono, the Chapter Song in Dono, Lamon Korjin the member Duzer Sandala and the Cedar Stan Tar, Lanam Yindo to do the main bed to Julie Hibert True. Tewa number Tawa, Chunkun Hange Sila Kulam Pumba Tana Ribble Hami 2000 Sanjalam Nedo Dembal is one of the packages Sola number Javakira to Banjuro, Sumba Pumba to Bichuan from Zinian, a Zombo Tok, Sandaranam Jarve, Trichin Bichu, Pumbagala, Mendel Juice, Yagim, Chudel to Super Sadak and Nanjung Hundred, Punon Hamo. Zongranga Jela Choga Sanon to Bachadon, Suzun to the Jen, Taran Tari, Hibaki, Tamsik, whether you should do Sambala on Yit, Tanzibek, Cheram de Bekisel, don't know your subject, Jachibe, Cheram Pepper Pond, Jurasonki, Yen Zenseto, Kesi, Pichu, Sujon, Yonjimakam, Kapsi, Kibanon, Jaduruma, Sonso, do the Yonjimata, Gidel Hobeji, Rabji, Nandalam Solom, so the 2000 Sazon, Kiban Jibon to keep Pemakarong and Zebi. Let's in Tobly, but the Chogi Sinti Tursu, Lamaton, Besage, Tawan Jon, Chinson, when using him with the Shamar Peva Sarva, Saturn, Vangi, Hora, Sidere to. Okay, so I have already offered the or a transformation of this sadhana. Actually, the just small piece of information that this kind of any kind of sadhanas are in collection of the works of Khyentse Wangpo are already in collection of the sadhana, which is Duthap Kundu. So whoever have already received the Duthap Kundu, say empowerment or transformations, you have basically have already received major sadhanas which are in a collection of the works of the Khyentse Wangpo. So that's also helpful sometimes. Okay, so
Thank you so
then very,
much.
very nice to meet you. Chagdud Khadro, I heard about you many times from Lama Chira, but from others, Rinpoche's Sanghas. Rejoice your work.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kambala. That was really wonderful. Thank you so, so much. And I should say for anyone who has not received the empowerments who wasn't at the Druptab Kundu, it is a requirement to receive the empowerment before you practice this sadhana. So this teaching is more making a connection with this practice and receiving blessings. But before you take it as a daily practice, it would be great to get the empowerment and to receive instructions from an authentic teacher on it, such as Khandro. So Khandro, I will hand over to you now. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. I was very honored to be invited to give this teaching. And I have not received the empowerment. Many years ago, in the 1980s, I received an empowerment into Sarasvatī, and I did a 3-week retreat. And of the various retreats I've done, I think that was the strongest. My recall actually is not so strong. I remember three things. One is that there was a little skunk that came in every night, a little tiny one, adorable. And secondly, I thought I was dying because I felt very ill, and it turned out I had mono. And thirdly, I had the urgency to initiate the idea of Phagmo publishing. I thought that was probably the blessing of the retreat. It didn't happen right away, but it did happen. And so the blessings of Saraswati and Manjushri are limitless. And then most of my preparation for this talk has been within the site of Khyentse Vision. And I have to say that, first of all, the introductions are really informative and clear and well-written, everything. The links, the references to other materials are very, very helpful. And the translation is very good. And I really appreciate the work of the team. Again and again, the translators thank Botuku. And so this is Jean-Luc Castalger. Can you say his name? Anyway,
Jean-Luc Castagnet. Jean-Luc Castagnet, yeah.
Yes. Who translated this, and the notes, the ease of using the website, it's all just a pleasure. And it's like entering a realm of knowledge in itself. So the title, The Way to Please the Fearless One. The fearless one, of course, refers to the Buddha, who's fearless because he's omniscient and has no doubt about there's no doubts about the nature of reality and the empty nature of reality. And so the wisdom to know that empty nature is the ultimate fearlessness. We don't have anything to fear from the illusion except our ignorance in response to the illusion. And the first wisdom that we need to attain is the teachings on what is ethical and what is not ethical, what is to be accepted, what is not to be accepted, what is in accord with our vows as Buddhist practitioners, as Mahayanists, as Vajrayanas. When we know that, then we overcome a great deal of ignorance. And so then all of the teachings that we receive lead us to that kind of fearlessness because we know and have confidence in our response to reality as it is. So then in preparing, first of all, I had never heard of the lineage of Bodong, and I became completely fascinated with this. The first monastery was established in the 11th century, but the great holder of this was in the 15th century, who attained realization through the practice of Saraswati and became the most prolific of all the writers in the Tibetan tradition, thousands of books. And so this was his blessing as Saraswati. And then he was the teacher of the first Samding Dorje Phagmo. And so the lineage has been held through the Samding Dorje Phagmos from that time in the 15th century until now. And so then I read in the introduction that the Khyentse Wangpo received this as a composition from Jamyang Khyentse, and then recomposed it, but that I couldn't follow up on where Jamyang Khyentse got it. But then the connection of Jamyang of Khyentse Wangpo. First of all, in his biography, it said he had 5 older sisters, which probably gave him a very strong appreciation of the strength of the feminine. And then he met the 9th Samding Dorje Phagmo when he was in Lhasa, maybe in 1848. And they shared teachings and compositions together. And in the website, in Khyentse Vision, there's a beautiful homage to her, which is called the Rainfall of Blessings Amrita, an homage to the life and liberation of Jetson Dorje Phagmo, combined with an aspiration for the stages of the path. In a way, she really embodies the qualities of not just Dorje Phagmo, but also Sarasvatī. And his appreciation of her is deeply moving. So I recommend finding that on the website, that homage to her. And so in the sadhana itself, I'm not sure which refuge in bodhicitta the Khenpo gave. I couldn't follow the Tibetan that well. I am practicing this, practiced it with the refuge in bodhicitta from another Sarasvatī practice that has been published in the Sarasvatī collection, the sun that brings bloom to the cauliflower of intelligence. And so then this Sarasvatī practice is not of this lineage, but it is of Red Sarasvatī in the Sakya tradition. And it says, until the essence of awakening is attained, I and all beings take refuge in the Guru and the 3 jewels. In order to free sentient beings from the ocean of existence, I will engage in this practice of the Vajra melody goddess. And so Sarasvatī itself, this was the name of a river in India that flowed until it disappeared. And so then in the Indian tradition, the melody, the manifestation of wisdom, as the river disappeared, the embodiment of wisdom appeared as Sarasvatī. And there are beautiful images online of Sarasvatī in the Indian tradition. I really enjoyed going through literally hundreds of them, and one after another, they take us to a realm of beauty and poetry and peace. Then it came through the tantra of the Krishna Yamari Tantra. And so there seems to be 2 traditions of this Red Sarasvatī, one that comes from a different tantra, and then this one in which she has a red body and 4 arms, and is carried through the Bodong lineages. Here's what Khyentse Wangpo himself, in a lineage, amazing lineage exposition that's also printed in the Khyentse Vision. He said, in the 15th century, Bodong Chodro Namjao, having been granted the grace of Sarasvatī, became a great pandita with unlimited command of all the branches of ordinary learning, who defeated most of the scholars in the land of snows and debate. He composed over 100 volumes of commentary, including the Great Compendium of Suchness, having been granted the secret treasury by Vajrasattva, Vajravarahi, and other main mandala deities. And these days, meaning in the 19th century, the living tradition hardly remains at the main monastery, but is still taught by exponents such as his successor Jora, Tamchen Kinpa, and the Laurel Valley, and the incarnations of the master, who are incarnations of the master himself, and the Dorje Phagmo incarnations, Yangdok Samding. So we have, by the grace and appreciation of Khyentse Wangpo, now we have this lineage in our hands. And the first, I was very interested in the Samding Dorje Palmas. The first one was instrumental in printing itself. She is a seminal figure in the printing of books. And the ninth one that he met enhanced the monastery. And so they are amazing lineage of feminine holders. So going to the sadhana, in the first mantra, Om So Bhava Shuddha Saradama So Bhava Shuddha Ham, then this is the entrance into the main practice. We fall into a state of non-conceptual emptiness.
这个是现在的直播。
What's this? And from there, we enter the realm of Sarasvatī. And so then what does this mean? It means that we really have to release our grasp on our ordinary way of gaining knowledge, like reading newspapers, following the news, making ourselves miserable actually with the events of the world, and enter a realm of complete poetry and beauty, and having the confidence that the wisdom that arises from entering that realm of Sarasvatī is greater in informing us in the wisdom, knowledge, and awareness that we gain. And it says, from a state of emptiness arises a vast and extensive Vajra protection tent with a seed syllable broom from which comes the celestial palace of great liberation made of precious jewels. It has 4 sides and 4 gateways decorated with archways and is complete in all its defining characteristics. And so not having the empowerment, then I visualized all of this in the space in front of me. It was like entering a realm of beauty in the space in front of me. And for me, the palace was rather Indian, with these archways and jewels and bells and just completely lovely in the offerings. In its center swirls an ocean of milky nectar filled with various jewels. And so having moved through the samadhi of suchness and allowed our mind to rest in a moment of non-conceptual emptiness, then the ocean of compassion begins its display and gives rise then to a wish-fulfilling tree. I spent a long time actually enjoying these visualizations. We don't have to go through this rapidly. It's not a long sadhana, and we're not in group practice. We can sit there and really allow the luminosity and the jewels and the display to unfold in our mind in a glorious kind of way. in the middle of that ocean is a wish-granting tree with its branches that bend under the weight of the leaves, flower, and ripe fruit. At its center is a seed-syllable palm, from which arises an 8-petaled lotus tinged with white. Palm is usually the seed syllable of a lotus. And so then enhancing that, the scent of its orange stamens permeates the 10 directions. And so now we have not only the visual beauty of luminosity, but we have the fragrance of the red lotus. And I don't know, I had a wonderful interdependence last night because someone gave me a bouquet of lily flowers that opened and it permeated my whole house. It's really like from room to room. It's like permeated with lilies, and it made me feel that maybe Saraswati was blessing this teaching. On top of that, from awe rises a seat formed by an extremely bright and clear moon. And so awe is the syllable of emptiness because it's the first syllable of the alphabet, and from that language arises. And Saraswati herself is associated particularly with poetry and eloquence. But Red Sarasvatī, being of the Lotus family, that also is the family of Sambhogakaya, of pure speech. And so then this is the causal syllable arises as kring. And so this is a red kring vertically, and on the dots arise Om Ahom, body, speech, and mind. And this transforms to light emanating, paying homage to the noble ones and accomplishing the welfare of beings. The rays gather back and dissolve into the kring and the 3 syllables. You know, in group practice, we tend to go through this very fast, but this emanation of luminosity and gathering the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then the more that we do this, then the more we're released from this grasping at our own solidity. And even though without empowerment, I was visualizing myself in normal form, this emanation of light and blessing coming to the ring in front and to including me, then the whole meditation becomes radiant and luminous and beautiful. So the kring syllable transforms, and instantly the Vajra goddess appears, the Venerable Sarasvatī, queen of speech. She has a red body, 1 face, and 4 arms, the first 2 of which embrace the concert being Manjushri, and the remaining 2 hands, the left holds a precious lute that rests on the left hip, while the fingers of the right gently strum its chords, releasing boundless divine melodies that please the Buddhas in all directions. So this I had to work with, because in general, when you see the lute, it seems like it's resting on the right side of Saraswati. But when I saw an actual lute player, an Indian, playing at an art festival, she had a second vase with the lute, the head of the lute resting on the vase. And so everything was in place. There's beautiful images of this. I love to look at images online because of the light shining through the images. It gives it more luminous presence. So this melody that Saraswati plays resonates throughout the 3,000-fold universe, permeating. The resonance is like the radiance and removing the ignorance, awakening us to the radiance of mind, the luminosity of mind. She's seated with her two legs in cross-legged lotus posture, meaning her right foot is on top of the left. This is in the notes that you have. In her lap is a concert, Bhagavan Manjushri, with an orange body, one face, 4 arms, the first 2 of which embrace her. The remaining 2 hands, the right holds a sword ablaze with immeasurable white lace. And so this sword of Manjushri, Saraswati in other visualizations also holds a sword, but cuts through our discursiveness. Somewhere in all the teachings that I've received from Jamyang Khyentse, he said, our single problem is distraction. And our distraction is really arises from our discursiveness. And so this ability to simply cut it, even momentarily, gives you a sense of freedom that very few sentient beings are freed from because of the linking of their discursive thoughts. And so then the brilliance of Manjushri's mind and his intention that we be freed from our ordinary discursiveness. This sword cuts through that. And so then by now in the visualization, you have the red Sarasvatī, totally beautiful, bejeweled with a crown, and embracing Manjushri, who's a reddish orange. And then we have a spot of color with this blue cauliflower, this brilliant water lily with the Prajnaparamita text sitting on the cauliflower. So everything is just glowing. And as I walked around thinking about all of this and visualizing it, usually when we think of intellect, we think of intellect as something sharp, witty, cutting, incisive, brilliant. It's all very edgy. But here it's like the wisdom glows with these colors that we find actually in Christmas lights. And so it's a very kind of soft glowing from the inside. And his praise to Saraswati, Khyentse Wangpo says, may it manifest from my heart. And so you have this kind of glowing wisdom manifesting from the heart of Saraswati in union with Manjushri. And so then we have, these dualistic concepts that we impose, that she's wisdom, she's emptiness, he's skillful means, he's the activity, this is union, this is inseparable, this is non-dual. This is what we need to attain from this visualization to know that it's in union. Their beautiful forms are utterly riveting, and they're adorned with silk and jewel ornaments. They dwell amidst shimmering light rays that shine in all directions. On the petal in the east is the goddess Prajna. In the south, Mate. In the west, I've been hesitating to say this, Smriti. In Pali, it's Sati, which is easy. And in the north, Medha. So Arakshmi, probably an Indian translation, can do better with those names. In any case, these are emanations of Saraswati. The aspects of wisdom. There's not a single aspect. It's the prajna of insight, the mate of intelligence, and then the sati, sumaruti. This has really, I'm sure all of them have, of course they have deep meanings, but this one I really went into more than the others. At first it just said to be able to remember, to retain what we learn, but also it's translated as mindfulness. And I have such a problem with this word mindfulness because there's so many pixels of phenomena. So what are we mindful of? And so then if we go into it, then what we need to retain is the view, to adhere to the view of wisdom in our dealings as we move through daily life. This kind of mindfulness of the teachings, the mindfulness of our ethics, of our response, of all of the immeasurable qualities, mindfulness of the six paramitas, mindfulness of the empty nature of dharmata. So then it really has a deep meaning that's just summed up in sati. Then the medha. This is kind of the aspect of wisdom that means intellectual power. We see it exemplified in the Khenpo. You see this kind of powerful mind. I wouldn't want to face him in debate. It's kind of, there's energy in it. There's an ability to go forth when it's necessary. It's that kind of power. This is in the north. And so all of these goddesses, these emanations of Saraswati, they are beautiful, and they manifest as white and they're beautiful and thoroughly adorned with silk and jeweled ornaments. They stand on 2 feet, evenly poised, and in their right hands they brandish swords, in their left hands they hold white lotuses. And so now we have the 5 aspects of Saraswati, and we have Manjushri as the deity in retinue. All the deities are marked at the forehead with Om, in the throat with Ah, and the heart with Hum. From the Hum at their hearts, immeasurable light rays emanate, inviting wisdom beings from their natural abode, being identical to those who have been meditated upon. Yesterday, I received an email from a practitioner. It was actually an email about inviting wisdom beings in the context of Vajraklaya. And he was concerned that when they dissolve into the samaya of a deity, what happens to the jhana sattvas? And wisdom is endless. There's no end of the blessing that we can receive from these wisdom emanations. And so the ohms of the blessing of Vajrabhare, form emptiness, the Vajra speech, the sound emptiness, then the Khom, Vajra mind, all thoughts and emotion emptiness. when we come to the empty nature of it, then the expanse of it becomes limitless, and the ability to pull it into you, into the samaya sattva, becomes limitless. And so you can rest in that state for a while. We don't have to rush through that. That's another pivotal point in this practice. And then we are affirming the unity of ourself as the samaya sattva and the jhana sattva, with the mantra Om Binzra Sama Za, Za Hum Bam Ho. The four mudras, the four measurables of compassion, love, joy, equanimity. These wisdom beings dissolve inseparably with the samaya beings. And so there, when you're doing your practice, those of you who have the empowerment, you can rest there for a while. For those of us who don't have the empowerment yet, then we see all of this happening in the space in front, and we can rest in the beauty and perfect appearance of it. Again, light rays emanate, having invited the empowerment deities. They confer empowerment. Their body fills with the initiation water. All defilements are purified. From the overflow, all the deities become adorned with Amitabha on the top of their head. Amitabha, because of this, is the Red Sarasvatī of the Lotus family. And so in the activity section, there's the activity of preparing the deity vase. And if you actually do these activities, you're not really qualified to teach all of this. But this would be a point in which you might partake of the vase water as you would in an empowerment ceremony. And so the next is the offerings. Om Sarasvatī Sapaiva Ardam. And then you go through the traditional offerings, Paudam, Pupe, Dupe, Alike, Gende, Nuade, Sabda. And then you offer praise. The praise here is the wisdom of all the victors is revealed in the form of the goddess of knowledge. By recalling her, she bestows supreme intelligence to Vajra Sarasvatī. I pay homage. In the Khyentse Vision collection on Sarasvatī, there are the supplication prayers and a prayer a praise written by Khyentse Rinpoche. It's very beautiful. I'm afraid to reduce my screen at this point in case I lose it. But I would like to at the end, if I can, to read that praise. Because all that we teach, there really is encompassed in the praise and in the supplication. So it goes on. At the heart of each deity is a moon disk bearing a white cream tinged with red and encircled at the edge by a multicolored mantra garland turning clockwise. From this, rays of light emanate, paying homage to the noble ones. I thought it was interesting that it turns clockwise because in general, but not always, for the feminine deities, it goes counterclockwise. And there's no specification of the syllables being a certain color. And so until we have specific teachings, then we can visualize as it arises in our meditation. From this, rays of light emanate, paying homage to the noble ones. This is another moment that reflects that of the first, when we send out light from the ring syllable, that now the mantra syllable sends out light and gathers the blessing from all those who hold enlightened wisdom. And the two benefits are accomplished. It's like gathering this wisdom accomplishes the benefit for oneself as a wisdom holder. But becoming a wisdom holder, then you're able to accomplish the benefit for others. All beings are established in the state of Red Sarasvatī, the wisdom of knowledge, love, and power, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, which are the three qualities of enlightenment, along with the vital essence of the animate and inanimate universe, are invoked in the form of light rays and the three syllables of ring, white, red, and blue. So again, the seed syllable emanates these white, red, blue ring syllables, which bring the blessings of body, speech, mind, wisdom, body, speech, and mind, Vajra, body, speech, and mind. Through their dissolution into my three places, the negative actions and obscurations of my three doors, as well as karmic imprints and the darkness of wisdom, are all cleared away. And so, if we had no ignorance, we would have no downfalls. All the downfalls that we make through our actions, through our speech, through our thoughts and emotions arise through a misunderstanding of reality as it is. And so then by this practice, this is what we want to purify. All of the practice, from the beginning to the end, lends itself to purification through the seed syllables of the mantra, through the radiance and resonance of the visualization and the sound of the mantra. When all the ignorance is purified, then the qualities of the natural mind, of our natural intelligence, can shine forth. The radiance of my unobstructed intelligence toward all knowable phenomena expands, and the blessings of the three Vajras enter my continuum. So we're in the sphere, the realm of Saraswati here, and all is perfect. There's not the duality. In our ordinary mind, there's so much that's dualistic. We are always sorting it out. Ugly, beautiful, and so forth. But here it's like knowing the pure essence and being in that state of mind brings that pure perception, which is the Vajrayana attainment to all of our dealings in daily life. And some few of us have to hold that. It can't be that everybody falls into the duality, the hard facts of newspaper and digital reality. Some of us who have the blessing of this practice and the blessing of our teachers have to hold the non-duality of form emptiness, sound emptiness, mind emptiness. And so then we have the mantra Oma King Hung Soha. So easy to say. Actually, in my practice of Manjushri, I don't remember in my mantra practice of Saraswati, it was so long ago. But in Manjushri, it's easy with these short mantras to get them mixed up. And so it's good to start slowly and then come up to speed so that you don't make mistakes in the enunciation, that your voice becomes melodious like Saraswati's. And the two links that are provided on the website of the mantra, and I went all through everything on YouTube to listen, and those are the two most beautiful. They've been pre-selected for us, so I recommended listening to those. And so then we have this activity mantra, Dharane. And I'm so afraid of saying this wrong, but Om Piku Piku Prajna Vardani Jala Jala Medra Varati Dira Dira Budi Vardani Soha. My teacher, Chagdud Rinpoche, said that it wasn't wise actually to translate mantras, but I did do some translation here. Piku Piku is it's hard to translate even in the dictionary. It's more like a sound, but in one definition, it's to take flight. And so then when you go online and see the images of Saraswati, then often she's depicted with a swan. It's kind of like, may the wisdom take flight, may it soar and increase, may it blaze, may it increase, may it be sustained, the pure cognition be sustained, and increase, soha. And so then if Doma let me off of teaching the activities, and I won't do that. But I will say that at some point, we Westerners are going to have to learn, as the monks and the Khenpos have before us, how to do the activities. And I would like to add that my friend, Christine Bodler, who lives here at Kundalini, spent 10 years in her PhD thesis at the University of Hamburg, creating an encyclopedia based on Jamyang Khyentse on how to do these things. And so with this 5-volume encyclopedia on how to manifest the art of the sacred, we can learn this. We can be apprentices to our Chupans, to our Khenpos, and to well-trained monks, and learn these things and gather these substances. Otherwise, I am personally really stingy with Dutsi because I'm afraid in the end, nobody's going to know how to make it again, and we won't have it for future generations. And so whereas other lamas are passing it out right and left, I'm hiding it. And so when we learn how to make it and do it, then I'll have the confidence in the activities being accomplished in an ongoing way. But there's the activities of preparing the substances, preparing corlas or wheels, and then the activities of the vase ritual. A vase ritual being the easiest because we do this in empowerments. And so for the self-empowerment, one can prepare that. At this point, how am I doing for time? Oh, I would just like to try to read those two maybe I'll do it on my phone. The praises and supplications of the Khyentse Rinpoche wrote, the Khyentse Wangpo. Just a minute.
Khandro, is that the praise to Red Sarasvatī or to? Can you give it, and then I can share it if you like?
Yeah, you can. I have it too now. I'm in the.
Okay.
In praises of Vajra Sarasvatī, in the Indian language, Arya Vajra Sarasvatī Stuti, in the Tibetan language, Phagmo Dorje Yangchangma La Tokpa, homage to the Blessed One, the sovereign of speech. Goddess, when this praise is recited with true devotion, you can destroy in a single instant the chains that bind to psychic existence. Mother of all victorious ones, I bow to you. With your wisdom, the supreme wisdom, swiftly, ever swiftly, you sever ignorance born of ignorance. Goddess of goddesses, I bow to you. You grant all supreme forms of intellect and bestow infinite types of intelligence. Intellect perfected as prajna paramita. Treasure of boundless intelligence, I bow to you. Noble lady, may the brilliant moonlight of this felicitous supplication dispel the darkness of all confusion. May the ocean of intellect swell. In the wisdom mirror of the two accumulations, goddess of melody, you fully appear. Through the splendor of your display of deity, mantra, and samadhi, may the two siddhis be achieved. Glory of speech, may a stream of nectar. The blessings of your three secrets fully purify the stains of the three obscurations. And may I be restored in the nourishment of twofold knowledge. In short, from now until awakening, noble lady, may I be taken into your care. And may I be delivered from the three realms into the basic space of the goddess of Prajnaparamita. An additional verse, Namo Sarasvatī. Late born one, lustrous, white and red, you are adorned with a deer mark, like the crescent bound in the top knot of the powerful one. You always enter places of isolation. And so it says, this praise comes from an older text of the secret practice of the noble lady Red Sarasvatī, to which are appended these verses of aspiration, entreating the fulfillment of aspirations written in accordance with the scriptures by Khyentse Wangpo, the servant who delights in the Guru Manjugosa virtue. And then the supplication, which is equally beautiful. Supreme boon of intelligence. Namo Simhan Guru Sarasvatī. Your youthful beauty of the three gatherings is replete with the countless colorful patterns of utterly perfect conduct. O Bhagavati Sarasvatī, I beseech you, bestow on my mind the supreme boon of intelligence. In the endless expanse endowed with awe, like a rainbow of unity painted with Indra's finger, your body manifests with the perfect marks, a mass of coral particles. I beseech you, reveal your form to my naked eyes. Though your speech is forever bound beyond sound, by strumming the veena of jewel-like Vija mantras, you awaken myriad beings from the sleep of ignorance. I beseech you, suffuse my speech with your melodious song. Even the furthest reaches of space cannot define your construct-free mind that revels in 100 expressions of wisdom and love. Ultimate Vajra, true face of the goddess of melody, I beseech you, manifest yourself in my heart. In this way, having blessed my three gates of ordinary delusion, as Vajra body, speech, and mind, may I grow skilled in gently placing my pala flower on the crown of countless wisdom holders' heads. This was uttered spontaneously as it came to mind by the poet of the cool line. a servant who delights in the goddess of melody. May this prayer be accomplished just so. And this was translated by Laura Swan, who, like Saraswati herself, has a swan. Okay. So I am not seeing you, but do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Can you see me now, Khandro?
I can't, but it doesn't really matter. I think that we could dedicate, it's very late in Australia, and I don't think I can follow anything that Khyentse Wangpo said in those two prayers with anything more except dedicating the merit.
Khandro, would you have any room for a couple of questions? There's just a couple of questions.
Okay, let me see if I can get back on so I can see people.
Okay.
I thought this would happen.
While you're trying to do that, the first question that was asked by somebody, the first question from the audience was, can you say a few words about the different aspects of white Sarasvati and red Sarasvati? How do we approach the differences between them?
I think through the lineage. I mean, there's another prayer of Khyentse Wangpo's invoking all of the lineage masters of the Sakya, the Saraswati. And so the visualization is different. Wisdom is wisdom, whether it manifests as white or red. But in that he collected both the red and the white, it's good to keep it straight as a skillful means. And so then in terms of the red Saraswati, I would go back to that prayer of homage to the ninth Samding Dorje Phagmo that serves actually as a kind of lineage prayer. And then just practice the sadhana as it is. It'll take you to the same place. But even though I sort of cherry picked and adding the refuge and bodhicitta from a different red Saraswati, I really believe that the power of integrity of the lineage is really important, that we do each practice as it is on the page. But it is unusual that she's embracing Manjushri, that she is the primary deity and he's the consort. And so you can contemplate that as you will.
That was actually another question. Khandro, sorry to interrupt you. That was actually another question in terms of the fact that Khyentse Wangpo seemed quite unusual for his time and quite radical in some ways in the number of sadhanas that he discovered where the female deity is the principal deity with her consort. And one of the questions was, how do we understand that without falling into the duality of normal modern perspective on that, such as a feminist kind of view of that and seeing it as a hierarchy?
Oh yeah, well, I had this whole romantic narrative, that he met that ninth Samding Dorje Phagmo when he was about 29 and was really influenced. She was old; she died shortly after, and that he had 5 older sisters who inspired his feminine appreciation. But anyway, if we practice like that, it's the same as in reversal. It's non-dual from the very beginning. Primordially, it's non-dual. And however we visualize it, that separate it out as wisdom and skillful means and so forth, in the end, it's a complete unity. They can't be one without the other. And so I think that the way to overcome that is simply practice. There's no other way except through meditation to see it as non-dual.
Thank you. So the final question was, you mentioned that the Buddha families, in terms of the Padma family being associated with the speech. Could you say a little bit more about the different elements of the Buddha families and what they're associated with in that way?
Well, again, the aspect of wisdom is primordial and arises in response to our needs. And so for us to learn the different qualities of that wisdom, that we have different deities, and those deities represent or embody different qualities. And so we can do it in terms of activity, like Vajra family being peaceful activity, Vajra mind, and Ratna family being increasing activity, and the mind of oops. Peaceful activity and the aggregate of sensation and emptiness, really. And then the Western family of Lotus family associated with speech. Okay, the qualities. Well, Ratna is associated with qualities. Body, speech, mind, qualities, and activities, and the Western is the speech. And so here in our center, Chagdud Rinpoche he was really Vajra, but he also was Lotus. And so then a lot of our deities are with Lotus family deities, and everyone here is very aware of their speech, how we need to tame our speech. And in the ordinary world, speech is becoming more and more uncivil, crude, coarse, abrupt, cruel. And so then by taming our speech, then we're able to bring comfort to sentient beings, to guide them, to draw them in. And then the activity family, the karma family, then the activity is in general wrathful, and it's associated with the element of the wind, and the body, speech, mind, qualities, activity, the accomplishment, all accomplishing wisdom. And so we have the names of these 5 wisdoms. Vajra wisdom is the mirror-like wisdom. The Ratna wisdom is the wisdom of increase. The Lotus wisdom is discriminating wisdom. The karma family is all accomplishing. And that means then the Buddha family is the wisdom of Dharmadhatu, knowing basic space. And it really means that that according to our own emotional afflictions, we need to look at our mind and see if it's anger, then maybe we need to accomplish mirror-like wisdom. If it's pride, then we need to accomplish the wisdom of equanimity in the Ratna family. If it's selfish desire, then we need to accomplish the discriminating wisdom of the Lotus family, which recognizes the essential emptiness of the desirable phenomena. And if it's jealousy, then all accomplishing wisdom that rejoices in the accomplishment of all activity. And if it's ignorance, then the Buddha family, Dharmadhatu wisdom, that overcomes ignorance completely. So we go around and around and around, and then we let all of that go conceptually into the unity of space awareness, the ultimate.
Thank you so much, Khandro. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Thank you for
Okay.
such a wonderful, wonderful teaching. We very much appreciate it. We have a prayer to dedicate the merits. So, Ina, would you like to share that prayer? By this merit, may all attain omniscience. May it defeat the enemy wrongdoing from the stormy waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death. From the ocean of samsara, may all beings be free. Lord of the ocean of teachings in Tibet without bias, universal monarch of 7 wondrous transmissions, Jamyang Khyentse Wangpo Manju Gosho in person, may all be auspicious for your lineage to spread and flourish.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Khandro. I can't imagine a better way to close out this year. Thank you so much for your kindness and to help us connect with that beautiful transcendent wisdom of Sarasvatī. For me personally, just watching you teach and just thinking about her, there's something so elegant and evocative about how beautiful she is that is very inspiring. So thank you so much for embodying that for us through this teaching.
Thank you. And will you inform me and anyone else anywhere if Rinpoche, Zanzo Khyentse Rinpoche is giving the empowerment? That I think that's the next step for a lot of us.
Absolutely. We will request Rinpoche definitely to give the empowerment and to teach on this precious practice. So we'll keep everybody updated. So thank you again, Khandro. If anyone would like to make an offering to Khandro, please go to the Chagdud Gompa website, chagdudgompa.org, and please check out the other Sarasvatī texts that Khandro was mentioning in the Khyentse Vision Project website.
Could you redirect that? Because I would rather have all the offerings go to Khyentse Vision.
Thank you so much.
Too. Okay. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.